Let's take a break from all the spinning Bakugan and do something a little bit simpler this time, yeah? So today I have a couple of cores from Wave 2. We have the Butterclaw and the regular Dragonoid core, both of which being red or Pyrus, whatever you want to call it. These are the only new cores that I found when I went out to the stores, but they're both still models that I'm interested in or haven't seen yet. Yeah, this will be a pretty quick video, so let's just get into it. Alright, so we'll start with the gate card of the Dragonoid pack. Here it is. Nothing too special, just looks like the inside of a volcano. Here's the actual character card for Dragonoid. You know, maybe I'd have more to say about this stuff, like the cards and all that, if I actually played the game, but I'm stubborn and don't want to buy the arena. There's a Roblox code it comes with. Here's the gate card for the Butterclaw. I forgot that the colors of the Bakugan actually don't matter, so this one actually comes with an aquatic gate card since the Butterclaw is actually aquatic, which you can see from the symbol at the top left. The little, it's like a little dolphin, I think. I don't know why I thought it was a dolphin. It's just a wave. Yeah, but he's actually a part of the aquatic one, even though he looks like he's Pyrus. And there's the code Core Crab 13. This one actually says Core Drago 1, so I feel like you could probably guess the codes of a lot of these. Oh, quick fun fact. So when I was looking at the Butterclaw artwork, I was like, oh, this guy's really just a crab. But if you look closer, the claws actually have mouths in them, which is disgusting to think about, but it makes me appreciate them a lot more. And while we're on the topic of the artworks on the character cards, this Drago design's terrible. But let's see if the toy design's any better. Actually, you know what? I could roll these. Let me roll these. I miss rolling some Bakugan. Holy shit, that took so long, and I had to like do it really close to the gate card. These things don't stand that frequently for whatever reason. It seems to do with the magnet, because honestly, it doesn't stay on the gate card as well as you think. But anyway, let's just look at the Dragonoid. It looks good from first impressions. I definitely do like it instead of wait, holy shit. Oh my god, they fixed the legs. Alright, so I suggested that they put the legs up a little bit more when they make more molds, but they actually just did a simpler solution, and that was putting the legs on the opposite side of the magnet, and that immediately fixed the problem I had with the legs before, where the legs would block the magnet. But now you could actually stand them on the magnet with legs out, and it looks fine, I guess. I mean it's not the best mold, but it definitely does look better than just standing it without a magnet like before, which didn't even work half the time because it wasn't really evenly distributed weight wise. But back to the actual model, I do like it more than titanium. I think the paint is a little dumb. Like it looks like he has a weird hat on, kind of like a beanie, and this yellow part right here, I don't know, it just doesn't look right. But other than the paint job, I do think the mold itself is better. And when it's standing up with its legs out, it actually does look pretty good. If you look at it from the front side, it kind of hides the blemishes of everything on the back. Kind of looks a little weird on the back. And of course, has a little diaper butt like the original Dragonoid. Except it's a little bit worse because on the original Dragonoid, like the whole entire thing was basic and not like trying to be really close to the actual Bakugan itself. But here, the top half, it's like trying really hard to look like Dragonoid, but the bottom half is just like, just put a little bit of nubs for feet and it'll work. Which I feel like could be said about a lot of the new molds, especially the cores, especially actually even the special attacks, especially the special attacks, where the top half is really detailed and like high definition, and like they really put a bunch of effort into it, and the bottom half is just two little nubs for feet. I guess that's just the consequence of making the bind system, which I mean, this is a better implementation than before, but it does suck that like none of the bottom halves have spring loaded parts. And I'm guessing that's also because there's just the bind system limitations. But it would be cool if they did try to make a spring loaded bottom half. Now into Butterclaw, let's hope I make it first try. Oh wow. So maybe it was just the Dragonoid that was a bit hard to open. Alright, first impressions are strong with this one. The bottom feet didn't give me a hard time like the last Butterclaw I opened and looked at. But I mean, red's also just a better color for a crab Bakugan because, that's usually what crabs are. And, the mold's good. I do like this mold. I especially like the bottom half. I think it's a really creative way to make a crab bottom half. Not a huge fan of the top half, however, this one does look better. just because I like the paint a little bit better on the head than on the green one that I already looked at. I think the green one had yellow, and yellow is not really my favorite color. However, black and red does work, and I do think the bottom half looks even better because it has the black accents, and the little stripe on the bottom is a little weird though. It's just like he has some tape on his ass. But yeah, these are pretty good Bakugan. I don't mind them, but we could combine them and see how they look. All right, so I have good news and I have bad news. So the good news is that the Dragonoid with the Butterclaw bottom half looks really cool. I like this concept, and I mean, again, with the paint job on the top half, it's a bit clashing with the two different kinds of yellow and orange-ish kind of sort of thing on the top. With the black, it's just the accents don't really add up. I think they should have stuck with one accent to go with on the red variants. But other than that, I do like the mold. This idea of a dragon top with crab legs is very interesting, and it's a idea that I enjoy, and I think it is properly portrayed here because unlike the Dragonoid bottom half, where it's just two little nubs for feet, they actually did go the extra mile and make feet that look like crab legs. And the bad news is that I already said it once, but I'll say it again. I don't think the top half of Butterclaw works very well for a lot of bottom halves, just because it's a weird crab monster thing top half that looks sideways, and the feet are gonna look face forward. They could have tried to make the crab look this way, like forward, and put the latch like on a back little thing, or just make the claws close differently, something like that. But they were trying to just make it look a lot like how Octagon looks, just with the latch on the top that overlaps over everything. So that's why it looks sideways. Just like, well, Octagon doesn't even look sideways, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, though. It just, I think if they made the top half a little more make sense, a little more, then the entire mold would have been great. But right as it stands, together it looks fine, but separate, the top half looks dumb, while the bottom half works pretty well with a lot of things, especially this Dragonoid. I do enjoy this Dragonoid crab monster thing. But that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed, then leave a like and subscribe for more reviews. And to end this video off, let's end it with a picture of a crab dragon thing, if I could even find a picture of that on Google Images.